Coming to you from Strings and Things Studio in Ventura, California, this is the Strings Unraveled podcast.
Woo! So,
What's going on?
Let's get more excited. Kind of early for us. Why are we already out of energy?
It is 8:30 and it's half an hour till my bedtime, so chip chop. No, I'm just kidding.
Chop chop, baby.
What's up?
I hope you guys all enjoyed our question and answer
Yeah,
cast from
we had fun doing it. I had fun doing it.
Yeah. So please know that if you have questions, we would definitely welcome them again. But we don't have any new questions this time.
Nope. We have a new topic. We're getting back to topics. But we'll start with what have you finished lately, Anne? What have you finished lately?
Oh, I've been waiting forever to talk about this because I wanted to cry on all of your shoulders last month.
Oh.
Do you ever go through a time where everything you start or finish or whatever, you're in the process and it is a disaster?
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah. It's just a weird glitch in the time-space continuum and everything's not working.
So from July till about mid-July to about now, everything was awful that I made. So I finished Big Wave by Heidi Karin, and
that's a sweater?
Yeah, it's a cute tank top. And I made the sister sweater to that.
Is it one of the sands?
No, it's sunshine sweater, I think. And that was a great success. One of my knitters in a dream sweater class made that, and it was her first sweater, and it was gorgeous. And then I had to follow after her, and it's a dream. It is a dream sweater. So she made a good choice.
Dream or a bad dream?
A good dream.
That one was a good dream.
So Big Wave is not a bad sweater. It just didn't work out for me. When I put it on, it was like a saggy, gaping, hot mess. The armholes were too long. It just looked really dumpy on me. And I hated it. And it was not, some things you hate because of hormonal issues. This was purely, it was ugly and did not work.
It just didn't work.
Beautiful yarn. Great pattern from a great pattern designer. And I would like to try it again in the future. I think I might knit the top in a smaller size and smaller gauge to keep the shape. And then follow the body as written in the gauge as written. So that was a terrible mess. And I didn't rip it out. I instead cast on for something different. Because I was determined to find the right pattern for this yarn because I bought it in 3 colorways.
So you ripped it out. You said that.
I didn't rip it out. I instead knitted it from the
sweater.
Yeah, I wanted it to suffer and watch
slowly
its new
be unraveled.
Okay.
Yeah,
it is kind of satisfying to kind of cannibalize.
Yeah,
the new sweater is just eating bits and bits of the old sweater,
and it was very helpful to have, because they were similar kind of sweaters, different but similar. So the sweater I ended up making is called Stata Wall. And it's really cute. It has a lacy boat neck.
It is really cute.
And then kind of
is that the one that I saw you wearing the other day?
Yeah, I was wearing it on Saturday. Stata Wall by, who knows? Midori Hiroshi.
How do you spell Stata Wall?
S-A-T as in Tom, A-W-A-L. Knit Cafe Midori is the brand. And you can get it on Ravelry. It's written so you can use any weight yarn. You just get lacier fabric. The yarn I was working is a Trendsetter yarn. I don't know the name. I got it Tuesday morning.
That's a great place to buy yarn.
It is a great place to buy yarn. If you get lucky.
Yeah.
So I love it. I'm so happy with it. And I'm going to make the other 2 colorways in the same pattern. And then I bought this really pretty knit fezza that's
a knit what?
Knit fezza, Fezza brand yarn.
Oh,
F-E-Z-A.
I'm like fez.
Fezza.
It's a hat.
And It's a sport weight, and I think it'd be cool in this sweater, but I think I might be tired of that sweater by the time I cast on a fourth one. So I'm thinking about the ripple cropped in worsted weight, but I gotta look at that yardage. So I finished Stata Wall, and I'm very happy with that. So from disaster came happiness.
Great.
Then it also sucked to sew. So I got some new Vogue patterns, V9053 and V9312. 9312 is okay.
Okay.
It looks
It's
cute.
a little deep.
Like a deep V.
Yeah, and I actually need to make it again and probably do an entirely different size on top than what I need in my hips.
Mm-hmm.
Because I actually had to shorten the straps by probably 2 inches and take the sides in by about 2 inches. But the skirt fit fine. And then 9053 was the most horrifying thing I have made and put on my body in all of my sewing.
Why was it so bad?
So it's really pretty illustration. And I remember when I was a newer sewist that my mom told me never to buy a pattern where there's only an illustration.
And not a picture
not
of
a
an
human.
actual
Gotta
sweater.
see a human wearing the
That
garment.
is a good rule of thumb.
Oh, because it can be beautiful in concept.
So it's a
That's
V-neck,
interesting.
simple V-neck bodice, gathering at the bust instead of darts, fitted waist, and a 4-pieced skirt. So it's almost like a full circle skirt.
Mm-hmm. It looks very cute.
It's really cute in the drawing. I put this on and the V-neck went to my belly button.
Oh no! Do you have a
Whoa.
picture?
No. It was horrifying.
So it's not like Hollywood catwalk
No.
belly button?
I was thinking it was more like you put on your school jumper and forgot to put a shirt
your
on.
shirt
And I was of course rushing to like get ready to travel, and the skirt is great though. So I burned the bodice and I took the waistband and the skirt, and I have a really cute elastic waist skirt.
There you go.
And I'm probably going to use the skirt
From
to
the
make-
ashes of the dress came a cute skirt.
And the fabric I chose actually it's red with like these teal motifs that match my successful finished sweater. But man, that was like really hurting my soul. You're like, luckily everything was salvageable in some sense.
And you got 2 things you liked out of it?
Yeah, but the journey was rough.
That does sound rough.
So those are the things I finished in the last, feels like 2 months. So not a very productive summer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about what we've been working on.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do it last
Oh,
month.
I finished one other thing. It's so cute. I'm sorry. And I did this last night. Katie saw the start of it.
You did this. Oh, yeah. That is
So
cute.
I got
That is so
some
cute.
Very cute, girly, hot pink leopard.
Yes.
And pink
Is
patchy
that for your
parts.
girly girl?
Yes, and then
That's really
a cute
cute.
little pink. And I did like what I'm calling a mermaid twirl skirt because it's the fat quarter, so I think it's
Oh,
the
wow.
18-inch fat quarter, 2
Uh-huh.
of them matching. So it's 18 inches, so it hits her like below the knee, and then the
Did you like half it?
ruffles, yeah. So it's
So smart.
like 9-inch ruffle and then a 4.5-inch ruffle. And so she'd like it to be swirlier, and I'll have to make her a real twirl skirt.
Uh-huh.
But
That's really
this
cute, though.
Is working. And elastic waist. She came in, she saw it on the couch this morning, and she came in this morning and she's like, this would look great with a pink shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thinking I'm going to go to buy her a pink shirt to go especially with her
Right.
skirt. I'm like, I think you might have 1,000 pink shirts. Yeah, I do. Nice try, though.
That is really cute.
So I'm going to make her another one in this bandana print that's a blue, a light pink, and a dark pink. Those are the things I finished.
Nice.
I'm hoping the bad juju goes away. I don't
Well,
know if
it
I need to
seems
sage my
because
studio.
you made really cute things.
No, that's true. I'm just scared to try anything new for a little while.
A little,
Back some tried and trues.
yeah.
Of, a tiered ruffle skirt. That's math. It's rectangles. It's good. And when I was making this, I posted this on Instagram today. Grain Line Studios had a tip about when you're doing gathering to absolutely do the 2 threads, which I am very lazy and rarely do. So you run 1 thread in the stitch line and 1 thread a 1/4 inch closer to the edge of the fabric, or an 1/8 of an inch closer. And then they have you do one like an inch or 2 below, and you pull on all 3 threads, and that keeps everything in line.
Oh,
so if you're
you
doing
get nice
like
even gathering.
Wow.
Because if
that's
you ever
nice.
like gathered and then you turn it right side and you see that like something folded over.
Oh god, I hate that.
So I did the first tier in my old lazy way.
Yeah.
And I had a couple foldovers. Not bad though. And then I went for the bigger ruffle and used their technique, and it's might be the best ruffle of like my entire
very
sewing
successful
life.
ruffle.
Yeah. That's a lot of time.
I hate doing ruffles, so that is a good accomplishment.
So that was a hot tip. So next time you're ruffling something, 3 threads.
That's
3
good to know.
threads.
Awesome.
Like when words
Use them.
use them. I was taught to use a really big, really wide and slightly long zigzag, and to do some running threads underneath there.
I saw that in a book, and that seemed tedious.
Well, I do half of that. I don't do the running thread. I do the zigzag, and I pull one of the zigzag threads.
But what's the difference between that and just a regular straight stitch?
But don't you have to do it 3 times? How do you pull 3 threads? If normally there's 2 threads.
Well, it's real easy.
I'm confused.
I have a top thread and a bottom thread. I have a bobbin.
But it shouldn't work to pull.
You can only pull pull the top thread.
Because if you pull them both,
but you
it
said to
locks
pull
one.
3.
Yeah.
3 lines of straight stitches.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's line 1, which is,
you have to do the same thing 3 times.
Yes. And it was worth it. I mean, think about my character.
Okay.
And I did that.
And said it was worth it.
Okay.
And the other thing I do is I also always do it in segments. So like I might do halfway. On this one I did, the one that was 8 times the length, I did in quarters. So that was always what I did to like prevent breakage.
Much better, yeah, because otherwise you have a lot of pulling to go
and you're
through.
like shoving and it won't advance, and undoubtedly there's a place where the tension changed a little and you can't. You know, something I learned recently, which this might be old news. So I always knew I should make just making the stitch length bigger changes the tension and makes that easier. Someone pointed out that you also change the tension, and I had never done that. Do you
Change
guys
the
do
tension for
the stitching tension of your machine?
Yeah.
I don't do that. I didn't do that before when I was gathering.
I'm still trying not to be afraid of touching that dial.
Oh,
I know you're supposed to not be afraid of it, but I'm like, after over 30 years of sewing, it was still ingrained in my head. Don't touch the dial or you ruin it.
See, I don't want to ruin it. I
true.
just don't want to mess with a thing that's working.
Right.
So I guess similar.
It does make sense though that if you change the tension
Yeah.
to be a little looser, it would make gathering easier.
Yep. This other mom, we were making costumes, and she's like, "Oh, make sure you change the tension to all the way loosest." And I was like,
What?
What?
"Well, I'll try that." Well, this is amazing.
Hey, look, you were right.
So I did that too, and it was. I've
Tips
never
and
had
tricks
such
that make
an
life
time.
easy.
Yeah, even the stitching around the 8 times 21, because it was the long way of the fat quarter, of 2 fat quarters, was worth it. Totally worth it.
Cool.
3 times around.
Good to know.
I recommend it.
There you go.
I think that might be a fun class to do, twirly skirts for all ages, but I don't know.
Oh,
Nobody's
that'd be
taking
cute.
that simple skirt, so. Actually, I think somebody is in it, but.
Yeah,
So,
that
sorry
would
if
be
you're
cute.
in it. I'm looking forward to it with you.
That one person's like, well, geez.
There's something really comfortable. I have a simple-ish skirt.
The skirt
that I
you're
made.
wearing is real cute.
And when we were hiking around Zion National Park, I had these little boys say, "Look, Daddy, she's got Star Wars on her skirt," and I'm like, it made me smile.
Yeah.
So, things I have finished. I was gonna say it feels. Have you ever had those times where you feel like you didn't accomplish anything,
Yes.
even though you did finish stuff? Yeah.
Yes!
Totally. I'm like,
Clearly
okay,
there's bad juju around here.
I mean, I finished the Kakambo tank by
Oh,
Noriko
that's cute.
Ho, and the Orilla,
Oria.
Oria Orilla, so don't be me and say Orilla, because that would be bad, by Alex Reynoso.
Well, people will just question how long you've lived in Southern California.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it is true. I came from Texas in second grade,
So you say Amarillo?
Amaria. I'm still butchering it. Actually, I do say it properly. But anyway, the point is, both of those are kind of neat because you can use stash, and they're you're using fingering weight yarns in both cases that you're holding. The combo tank you hold double, and so you kind of make your own blend by just changing. You can use stash. I did it as a test. It is really comfortable and super fun. And the nice thing about like tanks is they can be a tank in the summer, but they could also be just a vest to add a little layer of warmth when the temperature starts getting cool, which I don't know about you, but these 54-degree evenings are really, really nice. I am enjoying the most wonderful August. Like I hope we don't have a late hot summer because
we
will.
We will.
I know.
We will.
I'm prepared because I've been it's been
September
so nice.
and October is gonna suck.
No, I hate September.
I also hate September. Hello, September.
Yeah, this episode comes out September 1st. I hate September.
I like September 29th.
September ends, which I think is supposed to be like a euphemism for something, but I can never.
Isn't there a song?
Yeah, it is a song.
It's a Green Day song. It has something to do with like an absent dad, I think.
The death of a dad, I think.
But why
That's
September?
depressing.
I don't know.
Well, that's.
I was real into Green Day in high school. That was like my number one. Anyway.
I also those were work projects that were already should have been done before that. So I was when you're finishing up stuff that's already late, it doesn't feel like an accomplishment.
True.
And I just feel like I've been really slow. I feel like I come and I have these great intentions. I'm going to get so much done. And before I know it, it's like dark outside. And I'm like, what happened? Wait a minute. Yeah. I hardly got anything done today. What? But I did get something that's a non-work project that I think I will make. I thought, well, this is really fun. I will make it a future class project instead of a already on the schedule class project. It's called Butterfly Reflections, and it's a cowl, and you start with with your biggest cast on, and then you'll decrease after a while, and it takes advantage of it can look good in just a solid or semi-solid, or it can also, I used Apple Tree Knits plush DK, so it was a DK weight, and it's lacy. And it's the most interesting blocking I've ever done. It looks like a giant volcano of yarn.
Yeah.
It's if you've ever had those like science experiments with volcanoes, I'm almost expecting lava to come out the top, bubbles. But
yeah.
You're looking at it. It's like Mordor, a tower.
No, wrong colors from Mordor.
Wrong colors. No, yeah. Anyway, so that was by Michelle Pelletier on Ravelry, Butterfly Reflections. I just got a cute little story about where the naming came from it. But other than that, I've got more things that I've started, and I think part of my problem is organization. It's really hard to accomplish anything when you have office space, but it's crowded with stuff.
Yep.
And it wasn't until really this weekend when I was doing a private lesson in my office and I really needed to clean up my office that I really felt like, boom, it
does make a big difference, the space that you're surrounded by.
When you're in a messy space, and I'm normally very creative in my messiness, but there comes a point where there's too much and you can't focus because there's just too much.
Yep.
And those of you who are listening, I know you will agree because you've already told me I need to clean my office.
Who told you that?
Your mom's here?
No. No, I'm not going to out anybody. They know who they are. And I needed to hear it.
My opinion is I can always close my door. Well, it's messy. I know it's messy, but
okay, but sometimes my office is also used to help other people's classes, and so my door isn't always closed. But it doesn't matter because messy or not messy, that's up to me, and it's only a matter of is it keeping me from being productive or not. So
Yeah.
and it was. So
There you
it's somewhat straightened. You may look in there and go, really?
If it works for you,
But it works for me.
then that's all that matters.
That's right.
That's
No messy shaming.
I did
Exactly.
like a big office cleaning a couple weeks ago, and then I walked in there this morning and I was like, well, whatever happened to that? Because it's a mess again. But, maybe I'll be in the mood for cleaning again. But maybe not. I finished the, like Anne mentioned, the Ripple crop top worsted weight version. There's two versions of the pattern, the original fingering weight version and the designer Jessie Mae Martinson. I test knitted the worsted weight version of the same sweater, and I finished that a while ago, probably about a month ago now, in recycled yarn from an old sweater. I think I talked about it on the podcast before, but it's orange, and I really liked the way it turned out, and I would make another one. So I finished that, and I finished my Kia socks that I talked about like months and months and months ago.
Remind us about those socks. Are they like the neon color?
They're like neon green. I don't know what made me want to finish it, except that I do, because my mom's been knitting again, and she's been like cranking out all these socks. She's knit like 3 pairs of socks in like a month.
Like full size?
Yeah, like full on socks.
Dang.
And I was
That's a lot.
it's a lot of socks.
That's a lot of socks.
Hi, Mom.
We're all very impressed.
Yes.
And I was like, I could knit some socks, and I pulled them out, and all I needed was like half of the foot and the toe on the second one.
Because they're like ankle
geez.
socks, right?
They're like mid-calf. They're not
Oh.
real short, but yeah, they're the pattern's by Dawn Henderson, and it is a free pattern. I used Beauty Mark yarns, her sock yarn.
Very, very pretty.
I love her yarn, and I love Mariah, who is the owner of Beauty Mark Yarn. So if you are looking for some fun yarn, I say go check her out, because she's pretty awesome. And that is pretty much the only couple things that I have finished recently. I'm working on a lot of projects though.
Yeah. What is it with the summer or what?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I haven't really been
August
sewing
used to
that much either.
August used to take a long time to get through.
I honestly have not
but
had
it's almost done already.
I have not had like the energy to do a lot of anything, because we moved last month, and in that it was like a lot of just, moving takes a lot of energy, so I didn't feel like doing a whole lot of stuff. And then I don't know, I've been more excited about starting new things than anything else. So I've cast on lots of things, but finishing things is not super fun right now. I don't know.
See, to me, I'm more excited about fall times, because it does, like the first day of school, to me, fall is the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. Even though we're long past school years, it's still feels like that's a good time to start things.
I just get excited in general about the changing of seasons. Mm-hmm. It's like whatever the next season is going to be my favorite. It's like I like summer when we're almost into summer, but now that summer's ending, I'm like real sick of it, and I'm like, oh, my new favorite season's fall, because that's the next one.
I only like autumn.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And then winter's okay.
Yeah.
But it gets a little tiresome. I mean, and we don't even live somewhere where with like serious weather.
I know, right?
But I know I couldn't live there. Like,
Typical
I can't
Californian.
do it.
I read this thing once about
Spoiled by
how
your good weather.
Southern California doesn't have 4 seasons, it has 5 seasons. And it's like, I know, because you'd think we don't have any seasons.
We have 2 seasons.
No, so there's 5 seasons apparently. So right now we're in, let me see. If we start from January, you have actual like winter. We have the rainy season, which is like mid
Takes about 3 weeks.
spring. Yeah. Well, we got a lot of rain this year.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
good.
So we had the raining season, and then we have June gloom, and then you have late summer heat, which is going to be the next one that we get.
Yes, that's actually our next season.
And then we get,
If we don't speak it won't happen.
No, it will. And then you have east winds.
Oh, yes.
And then you go back to rain, and then you go. So
The windy season,
Yeah,
which
the
is
windy
the largest
season.
season of the year.
so we're going into late summer heat.
Yep.
We're coming out of June
Oh
gloom.
my gosh, that means we'll have Santa Anas. I hate
That's
I
the
hate
next
Santa
one.
Anas.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Because it's not just wind. It's like let me open the oven and turn a fan on, and let's just blow this hot air on you. So,
Anyway.
I only like the season that follows the winds.
The
You like
one
the
that
winter?
follows the wind.
The season that follows the winds, because you might get like a little autumn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a
You
touch
might,
for like
you
a
know,
week.
Yeah, because either like my feeling is that Halloween, the best holiday, the king of all holidays, is either going to be really hot and you're going to feel like you're dying in your hot
Or it's
costume,
gonna be raining.
or it's going to be raining.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
Okay.
very true.
Two choices.
quick question.
Yes.
Opinions. There's I guess I didn't vet this myself. I only heard this from my mother-in-law. Take it that as you will.
Mm-hmm.
She says that they're trying to put Halloween on a set day of the month. So it won't
It
be
is
all
on a set day of
no,
the
no,
month. It's on the
no,
31st.
I don't mean on the 31st.
like October
No,
31st.
like the last
the,
Friday
like
of the
like
month
the
or
last
whatever.
Saturday. It would be on the weekend, so the kids are not, school's not impacted.
Say, who are they?
I was just gonna say, but who is they?
These
Yeah.
Are
They.
these the people who made the cutoff age for school September 1st? Are these those people?
The people.
The
They're also the
people.
ones that control whether we have to do what is it called? Daylight savings time.
Those people.
Hey, I thought we voted no. I thought we voted.
We voted to vote.
We voted to be willing to vote if there's
You know,
ever
at
a vote.
least it's a chance.
I know, that's why I voted for it.
I know. I was like, well, that's something.
Except I know that.
Because then people are like, well, are we not supposed to do it? And you're like, well, no, because we haven't voted for that yet.
What?
I know that.
Somehow that just sounds wrong.
It's like, if you're open to the
Someone cheated there.
possibility.
So you don't read your vote book very
I
but
do.
you're also,
I normally do,
I'm
but
Also,
you know.
you're not the only person I've heard feel that it was worded in a way that made you feel like you were getting empowered to say no more daylight saving.
I think they put it. I think the only reason it was even put out there, written ineffectually, is to just drive people to actually show up to the polling place.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because if it's a really big issue, people may or may not show up. But if you do something like daylight savings time, we can all get behind that.
Yeah, I'm a one-issue voter. It's daylight savings time. Like, I hope you guys don't think I'm joking. I'm laughing, but it's true.
I have never met anyone that said, "Oh, I love
My
daylight savings
unpopular
time."
opinion is I
Oh my
like
god,
daylight
I
savings
meet
time.
all those people.
I like daylight savings time. I'm sorry.
Sitting right here.
La la la!
Sorry.
I have a blinder, and I did
Daylight
not
savings
see.
time.
Again, I've never met anyone.
I'll just not. I shouldn't have said
No,
it. I
it's
shouldn't have outed
funny
myself.
because, Karin, I hear a lot of people around me at that time get excited about the longer day,
Yep.
or because of the stupidity of making it longer into November, the planet naturally, the days get shorter, and then we've artificially lengthened the daylight in the evening. So when it hits in November, it's pitch black at 4:30.
Yeah, I
Like
hate that.
that's maddening.
It is crazy.
And then the people who don't like the dark complain more about it.
Personally, I wish that they were reversed because I have lots of energy in the fall.
I do
Going to
too.
school, I don't mind losing an hour. Then in the spring, when when I was fed up with school, I'm fed up with everything. I just want an extra hour to sleep, and they want to take it away from me. So
I don't have any opinions on this subject.
and it's yeah.
But she asked for opinions.
I think we heard your opinion.
I don't have any opinions. I don't know what you're talking
Anyways.
Hey, we didn't talk about what we're currently working on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice segue. Woohoo!
And what are you working on?
Well, I'm making another Stata Wall. I have
Set the wall.
at least one more planned, and I think it's only going to be one more
Okay.
because for a total of 3 out of the 3 colorways of this.
I'm impressed. You guys make 3. We're not talking like 3 pairs of
Who's
socks.
you
or
guys?
3. You made 3 of stuff
I'm
too.
not knitting.
3 of that top you're wearing.
That's sewing.
Yeah.
That's faster. That I can handle.
No, I thought about the sweaters. You were just wearing. Lori, you just have 2.
No, I don't knit more than one sweater.
Ever.
No, I don't think I have.
I've
You
kind
have
of
a-
been the multiples person lately.
I don't think I have. I could look back, but I'm pretty sure I have not knit the same sweater twice.
But didn't you just ask earlier? Don't you have that in a different color?
Yeah,
It's
my
the to-
my
it's the
top that
tank
I'm
top
wearing,
she's
not the
wearing
sweater I
underneath.
was wearing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you
This
had the
is-
sweater.
This
It's cute.
is a cashmere pattern that I don't
And
remember the
it's
name of.
linen again. I
No,
love
this is
it.
cotton.
No,
This is a
it's
chambray.
a linen look.
Let's
Chambray.
tell you about what Katie's wearing.
Yeah,
Whatever this
so I'm wearing
top
a
is
chambray
called.
top, and I don't remember the name
But
of
it's
it.
like the prettiest icy, like clear morning blue, and it's one
like
of the
a-
best colors I've ever seen you wear.
It's a little
I
bit of
don't
a
know
pale
why I
wash
like
denim.
it so much on you, but
I like the
it's
texture
really
of the
pretty.
fabric, and the curve of the neck is very
Wow.
attractive and appealing.
No, only the color is good.
But she doesn't have any opinions on the issue.
I'm just wearing it. It's not like I don't like it. I only made 3 of them.
Yeah, and so that might be what you've heard her say that.
I will
before.
sew more than one thing because sewing takes a lot less time than knitting
It's
a
true.
garment does.
I don't know why sewing takes so long for me. It shouldn't, because I think I procrastinate. You know,
I do everything fast though.
once I
For that, and it's not a good.
it is true.
It's not a good thing all the time because I do things fast and then I screw everything up. Anyway,
Well, I want to be somewhere in between you guys because I like the fast and dirty results, but I do like eventually sort of like an earworm song. Karen's good habits eventually wheedle into my ear, and I implement some of them.
But probably those good habits take me longer, and that's probably why I've not been motivated to do much.
I know you got to get a little fast and dirty in there. Like,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
all about a balance. I need to slow down a little
influence
bit.
Each other.
Well, this skirt was a
Very
fast and
cute.
dirty only because the pattern was highly lacking. Well, was it a Berta?
Yes, I think it was.
Don't buy Berta; they're horrible.
Well, they're different sewing culture than
Okay,
we're used to.
I'll give you that. They just had some serious information lacking about how to put the.
Because I'm looking
Waistband
at
in.
this rippled crop top worsted, and I think this cute purple yarn I got is so soft.
Ooh,
and
it's like
cuddly.
an it's
And
like an orchid.
It would be
What is it?
cute in
What's it made
it's a
with?
blend.
It feels like it has
Probably
angora
no.
or something.
Yeah, there's. I think it's it's angora or mohair and alpaca and wool.
Ooh.
I'm like, why did you throw the alpaca in there just to like?
Just cause.
Yeah,
Give it-
just
to give it a little fuzz.
It's like a little volume, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's probably a more affordable fiber. And then I have this stuff, which is also Fezza. Yeah, Fezza. And I don't have the ball band because I wanted to see if I was reading the yardage or the meterage, and that would be so cool to find out I've been
That you
reading
had
the
extra
meters,
yardage.
right? But anyway, I think this yarn might go better for the ripple crop.
Are you gonna do them together or?
Like this? So the orchid color is like a sport weight, and the other yarn I have to put with it is like a fingering weight.
Yeah.
And I think I would color block them.
That could be cool.
And the fingering weight is like a kind of a black plum color, like a light black plum, and the other one is like a pinky orchid purple. And I think it's gonna be really soft.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
And I think I would like it better as that cute ribbed sweater.
Cool.
So are you making that, I'm skipping over my turn a little bit, but are you making the fingering weight?
I am. I'm also
in, like,
making the
my
fingering
favorite
weight.
color of mochi. That is...
It's Sausalito.
Oh, okay.
But
'Cause
yes.
mochi was the single ply.
Yeah, so I'm making the ripple
But
crop
that's my
top
favorite color of
original
that.
version in Crystal Palace Sausalito, which is like a green and rust, and it's like a self-stripey. There's lots of pictures of it on my Instagram before I decided to stop working on it for the time being, but
It's a lot.
it's a lot of ribbing, and it's gonna be super cute.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I really could use one more ball of yarn,
Oh.
and I can't find it. So I'm gonna have to maybe make my sleeves a little bit shorter. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I decided to not worry about it.
Good plan.
So what else are you working on?
I have another dream sweater workshop going where all 3 of my students are making fantastic sweaters, but one particular caught my heart, which is Mabel's Sister. It was in an ad in the recent Pom Pom, and it's available on Ravelry from London Loop. And I don't know if they have an actual author. There's a free baby pattern one of it if you want to try the
that Mabel?
techniques. Yeah. And then there's this grown-up one for sale.
It's really cute.
It's a DK weight yarn. I'm using, I think, the last sweater I'm going to do in this yarn because there's no more at Tuesday morning.
You bought it all.
It's Fibra Natura Lima. It's that sport weight I've been working in. That's 284 yards for $6.99.
You can't beat that.
And it's merino, and it's delightful to work with, and the colors work really well. It's like a taupey gray and like a soft black. It's not gray.
It's almost
like
navy.
charcoal. Yeah, it has a blue tint to it for sure, but it's definitely like a black tone. And it's a really pretty sweater. It has some cool stitch work.
It's like a smocked yoke kind of thing.
It's like a star stitch, and like the design gets bigger and bigger by the number of yarn overs you do in each repeat. So it's really fun to do. And my students is turning out beautiful. She's making like a plum color with a gray as the contrast color, and it's real pretty. So I recommend that you look at it. So I want to tell about the good behavior.
Okay.
So I ask my students in Dream Sweater to give me a copy of their pattern so that I can help them when we're not in
you're
class.
prepared.
Yes. And so I have a copy of this pattern.
But
I shouldn't make it from
a photocopy.
Free photocopied pattern. That is not the right thing to do. So I went on Ravelry and I paid for my own copy because that is how we keep innovative designers supported.
Yes.
And then the other two girls are making cute sweaters too. One's making Bryn by Quince & Co. and Lena's Top Down Sweater by Lena Skavagarson.
Sure.
Yeah, Lena's Top Down Sweater. And all three of these are great sweaters. So if you're looking for a fun sweater, check those out. But Mabel's is going to be my first. But if I choose to make any of those other three, I'm going to buy them myself because that's the right thing to do.
I was just reading a pattern today that reminded me, and in the copyright at the bottom it said, "Please don't share this pattern with others." And then it says, "Instead, support indie designers by encouraging your friends and family to purchase their own copy." So good job.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can get real self-righteous, but I could have just as easily made it from the photocopy, and that just wouldn't, I would have felt bad every time I put the sweater on.
And you want to put good vibes into that.
So, sometimes, I like that pay-as-you-go structure as the Ripple crop top has, and that's really great. And so sometimes somebody can't afford to buy that pattern, right? But my integrity is certainly worth the like $6.50 that this pattern costs. It's hopefully worth a little more than that. And I'm intermittently sewing. I'm having a good time doing a little back to school sewing for my kids. So I'm going to make some more skirts for Mirabella, and I'm going to make t-shirts for each of them.
Cute.
The end.
What are you working on, Karin?
I've got a few different things. So I'm working on the Rollo. It has an accent on the O, so I don't think it's pronounced Rollo, but that's what, or Rollo. I don't know.
No.
It's by Miriam Felton. I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, it's that pretty
sweater.
crocheted cowl, right?
It's a crocheted cowl. She and I were both in the Happiness is yarn club for Yarn Over Truck. We had the same colorway, and I did the knit cowl, and she did the crochet cowl, and it was really, really cute. And so I'm like, I kind of want to do her pattern. So I bought her pattern when it came out because I like to support her too. And I started with the dark like her pattern did, but then I made mistakes, and so I said I'm going to go from the light side and go light to dark. So mine will be reverse of what hers is, but it's just really pretty. It's got these shells, and I don't know how to tell the shape, but look it up on Ravelry. It's going to be really cute. And just today I cast on a sock today because I have this really great, really pretty yarn from Cat Sandwich Fibers, and boy, I'm really obsessed with how it feels in my hand. And when I knit with it, I've tried crocheting with it, it looks gorgeous. This one is twisty, and 400 yards per 100 grams. And this colorway is Card Captor Sakura. I don't know if it's Sakura or Sakura. If I'm butchering it, I'm very, very sorry.
There is like a rule about which syllable to put the accent on. It's like really hard and fast in Japanese, but I can't remember it.
I have no idea.
I thought it'd be cool to learn it one time. And if of all the Asian languages, it's one of the most approachable.
But look how adorable. You can't see this, but it's really cute.
I can.
It's a sandwich, and the top bun is a cat head.
Yeah, I have some of her
really
yarn in my stash. It's super cute.
So I am also making the Peak Socks by Dawn Henderson. That's the same person who did the Kia socks. This pattern is, I don't know if you can get it separately, but I know that it was published in the latest issue of Taproot magazine. I kind of get lately, I like to get magazines like this one and like Pom Pom. They have a variety of things going on, and besides really neat articles, they'll have like a recipe, and they'll have a knit pattern and a crochet pattern. This one actually has has the Merfolk bag, which is like a crocheted beach bag, which is really cute. But I want to make these lemon coconut energy bites. They have some really adorable, great
that sounds
recipes.
Delicious. Make that now.
It's got dates and whole raw cashews, coconuts, flaxseed meal. It looks very healthy, but also looks delicious. I like anything with lemon and coconut. It's a very healthy issue. It's supposed to be self-care for mamas to be, but I just going to teach it for
Mamas that are.
Mamas that are. Yeah. Other
You be a mama.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
We'll
you're
all
a
be
mama
mamas.
to be.
We all have the maker spirit and our feminine chi.
Sure.
And
So, but I also started doing some sewing, and I haven't done any sewing yet, but I cut out the fabric. That's the first part. I'm making the Holyoke maxi dress and skirt.
I love that pattern. It's so cute.
It looks
it looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
I wanted to take it off your cutting board.
The fabric of the pattern, yes.
Both.
Well, and right now they have a sew along, so they have different hacks on their
This is a
website for their
cashmerette
blog.
pattern?
A cashmerette. They made it a really cute swing skirt.
I saw the hack to
That
make a
was
skirt. It was really cute.
It's really cute. So they have all these here's their pattern, and they're going to show you other things you could do with the pattern. But the fabric is like the most gorgeous, beautiful fabric I've ever seen. It's an African wax print, and it's got hot pink and lime green and gray and black. And what's not to love about that?
They kind of look like peacock feathers.
Yeah, they look like peacock feathers, and this
That's
really
neat.
big, bold graphic. And they get small as they go into the center of this large hot pink circle. And anyway, so I'm making that. Hopefully I will get that done before I need to wear it on Friday.
Oh.
Nothing like a last minute deadline to throw yourself off.
Friday, it's Tuesday. You've got ages.
I was gonna say, you're talking to like the queen of last minute
Yeah,
garments
like,
across the
I
table.
know.
here.
It's not yesterday.
It's not 12 hours from now.
No, and I'm going to be here. I can be here.
You'll have forever.
Yeah. Of course, my sewing machine's here, not at home.
Okay, so be here.
So be here. And then I'm making this Sew Sweetness has a lot of sewing bag patterns, and I'm making one called the Reisende bag, Reisende, and I'm making it out of this really huge textured mermaid metallic fabric.
Oh,
I love that fabric.
It's going to be awesome. I was waiting on the hardware to actually do any more putting together of
Looks
it.
like your hardware's here.
My hardware is here. I got some stuff, some really nice, because trying to find nice belt buckles that are not like attached to belts. You know, they have buckles, but the ones that have like the little prong or tongue, I guess it's called, to go through the holes. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Now that the hardware's here.
Cool.
Every now and then, I know they're coming from Canada, but they have some really nice bag hardware, and when they have sales, Emmeline bags.
Oh yeah,
Emmeline. They have some. So I got extra buckles because anything I like now might be a future class. Why not? So not that I'm doing too much, but there you go. I think I could actually finish those. Oh, there's one other thing that I have not started yet, but I'm planning. It's in the upcoming Pom Pom magazine, issue 30. It's the Isobue, Isobue by Kiyomi Bergen and I think another person, I should look that up. Anyway, it's neat. It's a neat concept of a sweater. You're doing the sweater in halves, a left half and a right half.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And there's buttons on the front and on the back.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it could be a
that's a cute
pullover, or you can flip it around and decide which side you want. There's like no really wrong or right side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's written to have 3 halves. So if you wanted to swap
Wouldn't that
out
be
one
thirds?
side.
Sorry.
What?
You can't have 3 halves.
Well, your sweater isn't a half.
Wouldn't that be thirds?
No,
yes.
it would be a
Katie's
third
right.
half.
I
No,
know.
no,
Katie's
I
right.
know. It's another half.
It's 1.5 sweaters.
Sure.
You're giving 150% here.
That's right. That exists. That's a thing.
That's 50% more sweater than you can wear at one time, though.
I probably will not make the
I
third half
guarantee you I would not make it.
because I'd be like, I'm not going to unbutton all of these buttons and wear it again.
To like,
That would be fun.
like I feel like I need a change. So you just knit the half, and like
See,
it's sort of like that. There's
here's the deal. Since we're all about the same size.
I'm not knitting a half of your sweater. I'm sorry.
But
We can each knit
it would be
It's like the sisterhood of the traveling pants.
the traveling sweater. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking of that Presto Changeo sweater from
Yeah, the
Jimmy
baby
Beans.
one. Yeah.
It's got the placket down the front, and you can change the front panel for all the disgusting things babies sputter down their fronts. Oh, that's what I should make then. I'm gonna make a baby sweater for my husband's cousin, but I have this other sweater in mind. Anyway, sorry. Wow.
Anyway,
Brainstorming.
Anne, wake up!
see, I think it's a thing. I'm gonna work on you, Katie.
I'm not
We're gonna-
making half your sweater.
No, it would be half your sweater.
Sure.
I would be making half of each of your sweaters,
A
and then
third.
a third. That's right.
How about you make a half of? No, I'm just trying to con you into making 6 right now or something. I don't know.
Okay.
It's too late for me to figure out this math.
What if we each make 2?
That's 3 sweaters. That's just making myself a sweater.
But we can
swap.
exchange
We
them.
can exchange the hat.
Yeah.
Do you want the left side? This one? This
But
here?
it could be fun though if you were into this sweater and you enjoy making.
Because like if we
You could make it like Presto Changeo.
Yeah.
And like really
so
shake things
so
up.
instead of making 2 complete sweaters, the idea is you could swap one half
You
out.
can make half a sweater when you're in the mood to make half a sweater.
I'm always in the mood to make half a
I
sweater.
know.
I've
Yeah,
made
this
many
might be
kinds of
brilliant.
sweaters.
But you do have to. You can't stay on half sweater island, or you'll never get it finished. You do have to have 2
so
sweaters,
you have to
2
have
halves.
fortitude to finish the first 2 halves, and then
And it's
from
in
then
DK weight.
on-
It doesn't take that long. Come on, we can do it.
Come on.
I'm not agreeing to anything.
Do you got a mouse over there?
A what?
You have
Do
a
you
mouse
got a
in your
mouse over
pocket?
there?
I don't.
You don't have a mouse in your pocket? My mom says that to me like all the time.
When
or
you're,
like if you're like, oh, we need to do something, it's like, I'm not doing that with you. Do you have a mouse in your pocket? You and your mouse are the we that are going to go do something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
They're laughing because my face
Katie's,
is blank.
Yeah, Karen's face is like,
I just don't know that you don't know that
what is your
expression.
mouse problem, girls? I don't really like those rodents.
I
They're
know.
food,
It's
right?
like,
for your
hey,
pet?
we should
Truth
go
be
do
told,
the
I
dishes.
still
What, do you
don't
have a
get
mouse in
biggies.
your pocket?
Okay.
Anyway.
That was not the thing said in our family. It was more of a, when you were about to say something and then you forget what you're going to say. My grandmother said, "Well, it must have been a lie."
Oh, my grandma said that too. Or I think
And
this
God
is
knew you were
worse.
going to lie and He was going to help you out by making you forget. I'm like,
The other
why didn't He
one-
help me stop making that other mistake?
The other one.
Uh-huh.
The other one
The other one.
that would get interchangeably said was, must not have been important, which I think is meaner than telling someone that you think that they're a liar.
Yeah. Must not have been too
Well,
important.
your dumb thoughts. Why even have those?
Wow. That is meaner.
Oh, but I come from a family that can, it's an art form. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All the things you're making.
Well,
That was a lot of things.
that was a plan, and I haven't
It's
actually.
okay in this segment to talk about the plans.
I have all kinds of great ideas,
Me too.
and I need to be more organized to actually accomplish them, or just enjoy the creative thinking of the process.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the planning and not the doing that's the most fun.
Oh, definitely. That's my favorite part of any like project is like picking the yarn and you know, getting started and casting on, and then once I see what it's starting to look like, then I get bored.
My favorite thing is wearing the finished thing. So that's why I think this.
Oh,
like,
because you finish stuff.
Ha! I think that you make us 6 portions of this sweater is a good plan.
That
then
does
I
seem
can
like
just
something I could see you doing.
enjoy. Enjoy Karen's
Oh.
6 portions of the
No,
sweater.
no. We're enjoying Anne, who does multiples. That's what I'm taking from Katie's statement. That's what I choose to hear is that Anne's
enough.
going to make all the multiples, and we'll enjoy them through her.
You wait right here, and I'll be right back with your portions of the sweater.
How come you're not leaving?
I'll leave eventually. You just wait right here.
Karen's sitting in here with the lights off, just waiting for Anne to come back.
Hello? Hello?
That's funny.
And it's not even that late. Usually usually it's another half hour. It's almost 10 before we get this giddy.
This is just comedy gold.
That's what people come here for.
Yeah, because we're so funny.
Well,
I love our customers. I gotta tell you though, I always feel so good especially when I get a full house. It makes me feel good. I'm running from person to person, helping them, and because I just don't get
what we're here for.
I don't get those added girls at home or other places in my life, and so it's really great that here we get to. It's a business, but people really, I feel like people enjoy us, and so
Yeah. I was teasing.
I enjoy you.
You
True.
enjoy teasing me. Well, that too, but
but I enjoy you.
This is why I love I love podcast night.
Yes. Me too.
I was teasing with some of my customers a couple weeks ago, and they were like, "Oh, Katie, isn't it great to be so appreciated?" It was like one of those days where I didn't sit down at all. I'm like, "Yeah, I get home and I'm like, why isn't anybody telling me how great I am?" Like, I love coming to work.
Yeah, that's a real problem. At
Yeah,
home, actually.
right? Where's all my praise and adoration?
I thought you were my people.
So, topic?
Oh, no, I haven't talked about what I'm working on.
Oh,
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
There was a steamroller that just
Sorry.
went right over Katie's.
No, I gave you a window. You
Oh,
shared
sorry.
about like a thing you're making.
I did,
and then
yeah.
it went
She
back
just
to
went
me.
right back to herself. No, it's okay.
It's
I
the
am
end
working
with
on
an
that.
E show.
Ripple.
No.
What a good show.
Why doesn't everybody love this show as much as I do? I'm working on that Ripple crop top that I talked about earlier. In my hands right now, I'm knitting in tiny I-cord, but I'm knitting a dice bag for my husband's birthday present.
Damn, that's cute.
I
Is
bought.
that what that is? I'm
It
like,
is.
those are
It's
like
going to
socks, but they're like, it's
No.
the shortest foot ever, and
No,
it's
it's
square.
going to be a small dice bag
How
with a
cute is
drawstring
that?
closure. For James's birthday, I bought him hand-carved jade dice, which are very fancy.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, I'll just sew him a little dice bag or something to put him in. But then I thought, no, I should knit a dice bag. That would be more fun.
And it's green.
And it's green. So this is
Where did you get those? I got Kevin 3D printed ones once, and those were a big hit. But, like, tell me about these.
They
jade
have them on
dice.
Etsy. You can search for, like, gemstone or stone dice. But I bought them from a website called, like, Game Masters or something.
Right.
I don't know. Do a Google search for, like, if you have a nerd in your
For
life.
fancy dice.
Game Master Dice is
Well, that's
who
how
I
I
bought
found
them
the
from.
3D printed ones.
They're jade. But they make them in, like, any sort of, like, crystal or whatever that you can imagine. So they have, like, all kinds of different cool stones and stuff.
Awesome.
So that's what James is getting, and then I'm knitting him a dice bag for it. The yarn is a mini skein from Destination Yarns, and it's one of her Game of Thrones colorways.
Ooh.
I do not watch Game of Thrones.
But you don't like fantasy.
I don't
I
love
forget
fantasy.
it every time. I'm like, you don't watch this?
I don't watch Game of Thrones. I think this colorway is called River Run. What does that mean? Is that a place?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a place.
That's what I
It's
figured.
another one of those reasons that I think Diana Gabaldon and George R. R. Martin were like writing buddies or in the same writers club, because River Run is important in Outlander also.
Oh, okay.
But then when I was talking about this recently, I realized they probably are just working from the same mythologies.
Right.
And
That would make sense.
yeah. So
I think that's what this colorway is. It's like greens and grays and a little bit of like
beautiful.
a charcoal black. Anyway, I'm also working on a test knit for a pattern called the Carved Pullover, and it is a jack-o'-lantern sweater. So
It is really, really, really cute.
It's a pullover. It's like a cropped 3/4 length sleeve. You could change the length and make it like a regular pullover with a lace motif on the front that looks like a jack-o'-lantern face.
when that sweater goes missing, you can charge me with the crime.
Sure. The pattern is supposed to come out like mid-September, so you can make one for Halloween. And then I was talking to somebody about
What yarn is it?
DK. I think I'm using a sport, but it's like 24 stitches, I think, is the gauge.
Well, I was just thinking if it comes out in mid-September and it's that's a nice weight that you could actually get it done in. That's cool.
I don't know if I'll get to wear it because we were talking about, it's October, which means it'll be like one of the hotter months.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I can get away with wearing it.
Well, pumpkin themed things, even though it's a jack-o'-lantern, can go into Thanksgiving.
That's true. Although I have a jack-o'-lantern cardigan that's like from Target, but it's got jack-o'-lanterns on it. It's like my favorite sweater. And I really only let myself wear it for Halloween because it really is a Halloween sweater.
There's one more day you can wear it.
Okay.
Which people accuse me of being confused about what season it was, but I have a jack-o'-lantern t-shirt from Target, and I wear that on Pie Day.
Okay.
Oh.
I can see that.
Pumpkin pie. In March, you might be more likely to be able to wear it than in October.
That's true.
It
was just too cute not to make it, so I signed up for the test knit, even though I have 1,000 things to do. But a
test knit is going to get you through it.
That's why I'm really into test knitting sweaters, because there's a goal, and I'm like, I have to finish it by September 20 whatever.
And there's like a mission plan. You're helping.
Yep.
You feel useful.
That's how I get through knitting my sweaters.
Yeah.
So I'm almost to the point in the sweater where I get to start doing the face.
Ooh.
And
that's a good motivator too. You're like, I'm going to keep going through this part that may not be as interesting because the fun part's coming up.
Raglan increases in the round before you separate off the sleeves is like one of the more tedious things to knit. But having the lace in the front that I get to watch form like this cute little jack-o'-lantern face is going to keep me going. And I changed the shape of the mouth for the jack-o'-lantern because the way she has it, it's like an asymmetrical, like jagged face, which is cute. But I wanted mine to be symmetrical, like a real classic jack-o'-lantern face. So I emailed the designer to ask if it was okay if I did that on my test knit, and she said absolutely, it was fine. So I recharted it, just the mouth, because I wanted it to be like a mirror image on both sides. But I was thinking how cute it would be to design, like, if, not that I want to give the designer more work, but she could include like different mouth shapes.
Ooh.
So you could have like a smiley one or a scary one or all kinds of different, you could change it, and it'd be really cute as a kid's sweater too.
That's what I was thinking. If that was a kid's sweater, even though I don't have any kids to knit it for, I would totally knit it because somewhere someone's gonna.
It's really cute. Anyway,
plus it would give me a good reason to have an orange yarn.
Yeah, the color or the yarn I'm using is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Sport. And I bought it without thinking too much about the color, just because the colorway was called Pumpkin, and I thought that's what I'm going to buy.
Well, duh.
So I bought that.
It kind of tells you what it wants to be.
It's a little more, of course it's orange. It's a little brighter of an orange than I probably would have chosen.
More of a yellowy orange?
I would have,
it looks like pumpkin flesh.
It looks like a pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
I would have chosen a burnt orange if it were, if I would make it again, but
this is exactly,
it's a very pumpkin color.
This is Libby's Open the Can.
It's exactly
pumpkin.
that color.
After you've added a little bit of the spices, when you've added the cloves and stuff, that's the color of this orange.
I was using that yarn,
it looks so nice.
And I have orange.
Oh, it feels nice too.
Yeah, it feels fine. My needles are orange to go with it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say you're living dangerously.
The only size 5s I had were the Knitter's Pride, which are like an orangey color, so they blend in, but it's been fine.
We should maybe trade because mine are like a darker color. Maybe it's closer.
Tradesies.
It might be closer. That won't help you.
But our topic, I guess that's a good segue, because our topic for today is we're just going to talk about what we're excited about for autumn/fall.
It's our
We're all very excited that it's
even
gonna
though we
be fall
just
soon.
complained that September and October are probably our hottest months.
I'm going to
It's
ignore
all-
that part
It's
and
all
just go
about
right
mind
into
games.
Yeah.
But so sometime in October, though, like you were talking about earlier, like nice cool evenings. Sometime in October, the nights get downright cold. I mean, I know other parts of the country it
This is why I don't like to
colder.
sit out on the front porch and hand out candy because it's cold.
You know, Alexander, my oldest, likes to do that, so I get to go trick or treating.
Well, that's nice. That's my favorite part of Halloween is handing out candy.
My
You get to
oldest,
see all the cute little kids in their cute little costumes, and I love it.
the first couple of years that we were there, I guess when you're in the new neighborhood, people drive over to your neighborhood because they figure you don't know any better, and you overshare, you get overgive on candy. And sure
Don't they
enough,
know
we
that Those are
did.
the people who just started a mortgage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We have a Halloween party every year. And that's like our favorite thing is it was like I was thinking about this. It was my grandpa's favorite thing was to see all the little kids in their little costumes because he always came to our Halloween party just to like sit on the driveway and hand out candy.
That's awesome.
So that's my favorite part is looking at all the little
But
kids in their costumes.
I wish
I love everything about Halloween. I love, like, it's, you go out in the neighborhood and you, like, interact with your neighbors in a, like, equitable way. Everybody participates. There's no judgment. It's generosity. I just love everything about the night. And I love scary stories, and I love, I had a weird weekend, and one of the things I wanted to do this weekend, and I didn't do any of the things I really wanted to do this weekend, which it was my birthday. That's why that would be important.
I remember.
But I want to see scary stories to tell in the dark.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that
No,
yet? Do you
I
remember
haven't seen it.
Did you
What is
read those
I
books?
did read the
Yeah.
books.
So it was like a series of books when we were probably started when I was in grade school, and then it's persisted on. There's 3 books.
It's a Guillermo del Toro movie, right?
Yes, which I love him so much.
I'm gonna write that
Everything
down.
he touches
What's it
is
called?
imagination gold.
Scary stories.
Scary stories to tell in the dark. And
I have not seen amazing reviews, but I also don't trust
I
reviews.
don't care.
So
if it's
yeah.
Guillermo del Toro, I
Yeah.
have not liked anything.
I
that
can't
he's
believe
done.
Trevor hasn't seen it because he loves everything. We have a Guillermo del Toro bobblehead. I mean, he loves the
If
guy.
I could do a good refined Mexican accent, I would do a Guillermo del Toro impression of what your bobblehead would say to you, because I love him.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. I think he's one of the greatest minds of our generation, and he's like a renaissance man of all the art forms that he gets excited about. And like, oh, I was so excited. We stumbled into seeing his exhibit in LACMA.
Oh, that's cool.
It was just a complete accident that we were there at the right time. And Mirabella was really little, and Dante was like 6 or 7. So Mirabella would have been a toddler, like 4. Not like a baby toddler. Enough to be like aware of what she was seeing. And there were all these grown-ups who were like, oh, I can't believe that she's letting her child go through this. Of course I did. There were some like quite gory things, and I wasn't like, Mirabella, look at this disgusting,
Hold her in
horrifying
front of
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Hold her eyeballs open.
Oh, my baby. I mean, guys, let's remember the guy who gets
You have
stung.
to watch.
Yeah. Mommy, you have to look.
watch.
And you know what's funny? She hasn't heard me telling that story.
I wonder why she's like that.
I don't know. It must be Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm shaking my head. No.
Take it from people who know. She loves telling that story. She was sharing that she's like, she was talking, we brought it up around some other grown-ups we were talking to, and she's like, yeah, I made my mommy look. She turned away, but I made her look.
She is so your daughter.
She does not know how much I love telling that story, because I have not told it in front of her.
So you didn't get to see the movie?
Didn't see the movie, because Dante and Bella will love it.
Yeah.
Kevin will groan, but it was my one opportunity to just pick and hear no one complain.
Yeah.
So I love everything about Halloween. You can be anything you want. Like, I am happy to make you any costume you want, as long as you are comfortable getting it at 8:30 on Halloween morning. I will make it happen, though. And Mirabella's really good at picking like weird things. Like,
What was she last year?
She was a Kitty an Alicitty. That's what it was, an Alicitty. So ALICA or KAI, whatever. You know how to spell kitty. It's a play on an alicorn, which is a Pegasus and unicorn.
Right.
And with a kitty thrown in. So she had whiskers and ears.
All the things.
And a horn and wings. So she was an Alicitty.
So a Pegasus is a flying horse. Yes. A unicorn is a horse with a horn.
Yes.
And an alicorn is a unicorn with wings.
Yes.
Okay. So but if you'd said alicorn, I would have said somehow
an alligator and a
alicorn. Exactly.
When you said Alicitty, I thought alligator kitten, and I was like, that's cool too.
Maybe this year.
The other definition of alicorn.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine a fuzzy alligator with cat ears and teeth?
That's upsetting. Yeah. So
that's the kind of thing nightmares will be made of.
She would say it like Owlikitty,
or
Owlicorn rather, and we all were like, "What is your obsession with unicorn horned owls?" You know. And then she finally explained it to us, and kids who watch My Little Pony get, like, they know that word.
Yeah.
They have the vocabulary.
So
and
the thing
knowledge.
is, we're too old.
Because Twilight Sparkle is an alicorn, right?
Yeah, all the princesses are alicorns, to my best of my knowledge, because they have both pieces of magic. So that's what that is. I wonder what she'll be this year.
I have a My Little Pony t-shirt that I wore as part of my Halloween costume 2 years ago. Ooh. When I went as my niece for Halloween.
Oh, that was so cute.
My niece was like almost 3 years old, and she loved My Little Pony, so I wore pink Crocs, leggings, like purple leggings, a My Little Pony t-shirt, and like little messy space buns, because that was like classic Ameren look. And everybody was like some people would walk up to me, like my family, and be like, "Are you Ameren?" It was an easy costume for me to do.
The sign of a good costume is when people get it.
And half the people were like, "What are you wearing?" Like random people were like, "Okay."
Didn't you even dress up this year? One of our little buddies.
Yeah, no, I just look like that all the time.
Usually do more with your hair. One of our little buddies dressed as his dad, who is like a very distinctive looking man.
It's like that episode of Bob's Burgers with Mini Bob. So Gene is dressed as Bob.
And so our little friend we all went trick-or-treating together, and he showed up, and I'm like, "Are you your dad?" He's like, "Yeah!"
That's
he was like so
funny.
Excited. There's a picture on Facebook of him and his dad side by side.
I love that so much.
It's fantastic. It's pretty good. Dante went as Alpaca My Bags last year, which was Alpaca My Bags.
How cute!
A pun.
He was a pun. He was my favorite child last October. So that is why Marabella has tuned it up. Yeah.
Competition in the family.
Really good. Alpaca My Bags. I don't know if either of them are going to beat themselves this year.
Yeah. They don't have any ideas yet?
They haven't expressed any. I think they're changing schools this fall, so I think we're all a little focused on that. So give them a week when they're all used to their new environments and friends with everyone, and which is not me. That is Kevin. That is Kevin showing through in them.
My nephew went to school for the first time. My oldest nephew started school.
Cute.
Oh, wow.
And I was telling him, I was like, "Oh, it's going to be so fun. You get to meet new friends." And he went for it started Thursday. So we went Thursday, Friday, and then he had the weekend. And then Monday he had to go back to school. And my sister called me on FaceTime Monday morning, and she was like, "You need to talk to Finn because he's crying. He doesn't want to go to school."
Oh, no.
And I was like, "Oh, no." And I think he had realized that school is not just play on the playground with your friends. Like, you actually have to learn.
It keeps happening every day.
And it happens every day. And he was like, "If they make me do circle time, I'm not going to school." Which circle time is like sit on the circle rug and actually do your learning. If they make me do circle time, I'm not going. I just want to play on the playground. And it was like,
oh honey.
And then I tried to
the rest of your life.
I know, I felt bad. I was like, "Oh man, it starts so young. Now you just have to go every day." And I was trying to soften the blow to distract him. And I was like, "What did you do yesterday? Did you do anything fun?" He goes, "I didn't go to school yesterday." And I was like,
that was Monday.
Yep. Oops. I didn't go to school. I'm not going to school. And I was like, "Oh, sorry, buddy. You gotta go."
You're kindergarten already.
Anyway.
Poor baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough. I mean, this is the way the world is, kiddo.
I asked him after his first day, I was like, "Do you like school?" "Yeah, they have chocolate milk there." And I was like, "That's great."
You just gotta. So did you bring the chocolate milk up? Or
Yeah.
I
was
feel like
you
a
gotta
cheap
go
trick.
get more chocolate milk.
Yeah. Mom can just buy that at the grocery store.
Don't let him know that yet.
Yeah, we'll see how the new schools go. Hopefully it's a good choice. So I look forward to Halloween.
Yeah.
I look forward to very cold nights and snuggling up with our Quillos, which is one of the best things I have ever made in our household. Because it has a pocket where your feet can go, and then you fold the Quillo up. So it's a quilt and a pillow that you fold up, and it goes from a blanket to a pillow, and we all snuggle in our Quillos. And my children snuggle with me, and we read aloud.
That sounds so cool.
And I love it.
Yeah, I have to sort of like trick myself into believing that it's fall because it is warmer, and when you live in Fillmore it's still hot. You don't get that nice cool evening all the time. So it's like I'll just turn I don't have air conditioner this year, so
right?
It's true. If it's cold, it's colder. If it's hot, it's hotter. But
Yep.
I have to sort of just like turn a fan on and freeze myself out to be able to put a blanket on and pretend like it's fall. Like I'll light a pumpkin scented candle and just pretend like it's cold outside. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I am excited for fall. It's probably my favorite season, like actually my favorite season.
And we can have baked goods again. And the crock pot will be going.
Yeah. I volunteered to make dessert for like a family dinner. And I was like, oh, I'll bake something. That sounds fun. But it was super hot. And I was like, guess what? We're having ice cream for dessert because I'm not baking anything.
Did anyone complain?
Nope.
That's right.
Yeah, baking. And I love baking pies and all that fun stuff.
How about you, Karin? What's the biggest hit for the fall?
Well, for us, it's once it's fall, then the birthdays begin.
Oh, you have 2 September.
We have 2 in September, and then I don't think we have any in October. Not that we
got a lot of birthdays in fall too.
We have 2 or 3 in November, and then of course there's me and a couple of other,
now you're into December. Yeah, we have like
it's like once September hits,
so many December birthdays.
The end of the year starts snowballing fast.
This month, I know it's like so cliche to say, but like didn't August just start? Like I feel like some months like take forever, but I feel like August for whatever reason August for me has been like gone.
Usually I can rely on August being the longest month because there's no holidays, there's no downtime. But it's like, how is it that the end of August already? It's just weird.
I don't know.
I don't know that, and I don't know that I like it. But on the other hand, it's because of I've been enjoying fall-ish weather, but I'm afraid it's temporary.
Yeah, it's been really nice.
It's temporary.
I don't want it to be temporary because it's cool at night and I sleep really well. I still have the window open.
Oh yeah.
When it get too hot. Okay.
I slid my icon and I just popped it right off my needle.
Live stitches everywhere. The gore.
Don't mind me.
I can imagine
if
people were here.
Right off my needle. Sorry.
Sorry, I couldn't stop but laughing. Sorry.
She laughed at you.
Don't look at me.
Okay.
Everybody look.
Mostly, and it's like Halloween was never a big deal in our family. I mean, I used to love it because I would make the costumes. I put all kinds of work into it. But then they got old, and they became teenagers, and they stopped liking Halloween.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
They don't like to dress up. They don't go to parties. I've got funny duds for kids.
I think that like Dante will get excited. My middle son will get excited about making things for himself.
He does like to make things.
Just realized that we missed the costumers thing.
Oh, that workshop thing.
Yeah, it was in late July. But I'm gonna do it for next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it? Costume College. And they do it in Thousand Oaks or Westlake. It's 4 days of costume workshops and sewing workshops. And
that sounds like fun.
It's part of there's a guild that you can join so you can get an all access pass. I want to do it.
That sounds cool.
Man.
For me, it's actually...
I would have liked to go see the marketplace this year and it just completely blew by. I should put it on a calendar or something.
Those things exist.
It's the thing I look forward to should be making gifts for others, but since I don't actually do that, I look forward to the baking. I like because for me, I like Thanksgiving. That's like the king of holidays.
You are serious about Thanksgiving.
I am serious.
Plan your menu.
You know, gravy is like my religion.
You and Kevin can worship at the same
altar.
Yeah.
Yes, because I start. You know, people are like, "Why do you take a whole week of baking? It's not that much." I go, "Oh no, we do everything from scratch because I'm gluten free. I have to do everything. I can't buy ready-made stuff, and so." And I discovered early on that to me, the pinnacle of everything is gravy, and everything else is just a vehicle to put gravy on.
This is true. Yeah.
It's like, what do you want? It's like, if you don't have gravy, why even eat the turkey? You know, why even have, I mean, yes, there's lots of different things, but it's all really to highlight the gravy. And so it starts for me with making a bone broth the beginning of the week, and I make homemade cornbread that I then dry out that becomes my stuffing. So it's like a whole length. I've kind of got it down to a science. Every now and then we change things up because the ideal turkey for us is like 18 pounds. 20 pounds is a little too much, and it's and then 12 is just like you get no leftovers. Mm-hmm. So I mean we have. So Thanksgiving Friday or Thursday, we've got Black Friday also means special leftovers. By Saturday, we have soup. And by Sunday,
it's soup season.
It's soup season. And then by Sunday, we have enchiladas with the leftovers. And it's always fantastic.
That's kind of that's sort of the flow that my husband's family goes through. Except I think enchiladas might come before soup.
Sometimes it goes back and forth between, but by day 4, you're kind of done with the turkey. So you find new ways of making it.
Don't like the turkey after the second day.
Yeah, I'll eat like a turkey sandwich the next day, and then after that, I don't care about the turkey anymore.
Which my husband makes probably 8 turkeys over the year. Because it's about to be turkey buying season.
Yeah.
So
just
we wait till it gets to the lowest. We empty out the freezer and we fill the chest freezer with turkeys, and then we work through them in the year. Except when we were in Concord, because we don't go through Concord very often, because that's where my husband grew up and all the family was. There's one deli that has set the standard for all ravioli. Ooh. And we bought 7 dinners worth of ravioli.
Wow.
Bought a small fortune. Alexander understood what it was when I said we spent about half a semester in tuition on
ravioli.
On ravioli.
Oh my God.
It better be
junior
pretty
college
amazing.
Ravioli. Yeah.
Junior
college
ravioli.
Junior college.
Not university.
Not even state
school.
Year. Yeah. But
it's not
still.
Ivy League ravioli.
Oh God, no.
I do love Thanksgiving though. I'm always so excited for Thanksgiving. My family has because all the men in our family like to cook, which I'm very thankful for.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's like Grandpa would always make a turkey in his barbecue. Mm-hmm. My dad has a smoker, so he's always got some idea. My dad always does like a pineapple, some kind of fancy thing on his turkey. And then my cousin Marshall also has a smoker, but he does like a Cajun rub kind of thing on his.
Yum.
So we have like 3 turkeys.
Yeah,
and you get to do like a little mini taste test or which turkey's your favorite.
I think this year
I'm gonna smoke your turkey.
I'm gonna buy.
You gotta spatchcock your turkey. You gotta.
It sounds weird.
Dry rub.
Dry rub.
Yeah, you spatchcock that turkey, and it looks dirty. It looks like It looks like you're in like a serial killer's basement when you do that to that turkey.
I've done it. It's all flayed out.
Yeah, but it cooks evenly and faster.
Mm-hmm. Smoked turkey is the best though.
Yeah, and you gotta dry rub your turkey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kevin is he's
brine
really into
brine
this.
Or no brine.
He does like a dry brine or something.
A dry brine. I can see that.
He used to brine like Alton Brown's method of brining, and that was beautiful
with the bucket and the salt and
and now he does a more like
I used to
binging with Babish style. Whatever. What? Binging with Babish.
Well, I'm writing that one down.
Oh my gosh,
you don't know about binging with Babish?
Yeah.
He's got a YouTube channel.
You're so lucky, Karin. You get to experience it all. He kind of rose to popularity from he'd take like TV or movie food that was portrayed in a TV show and
Like,
then make it for real and then
Oh.
make it good.
Oh, yeah.
But now he does like basics with Babish,
Yes.
and it's like
'Cause
how to do.
Yeah, he's a very talented cook,
Cool.
and he teaches you how to have like high quality food in
Well,
your home.
I downloaded the app for our smoker because our smoker has an app that goes on your
fancy.
phone.
That's awesome.
So, but then I chickened out because I was going to do a tri-tip out there.
Yeah.
But then I chickened out, and plus it was like almost 100 degrees. And I'm like,
It's like
Why wouldn't you
James's.
do it outside?
well, I did it in the oven.
Why would you do
Seems
it in
worse,
the oven?
Karen, 'cause then
No,
your
no,
house
no,
gets
no,
hot.
no, I didn't. Well,
If you cook
Okay.
it outside, then you don't have to heat up your house. That's the beauty of a smoker, is it all happens
Yeah.
outside.
that is true. But not knowing the condition that my husband left that smoker, I'm kind of afraid of it until because I know he didn't his idea of thoroughly cleaning it is not exactly my idea of thoroughly cleaning it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's sort of like
But he believes in cleanish. It's
Is it like a
cleanish.
cast iron?
that's
like you don't want to
exactly
get
what I
it
was
too clean.
thinking. Yeah,
It's gotta be
because
well
I
seasoned.
guarantee you, my husband is not thoroughly cleaning anything in this world.
Well, the way that the smoker, it's like the wood pellet, so it's not the charcoal bit. It's a wood pellet.
understand.
It drops down. You get very little ash, but something when he put it together, it's supposed to even be tilted, so it has a little thing where any of the stuff
Drips.
it drips out into a little bucket that
Yeah.
it hangs off the side. But somehow it got dripping out the back, and it stained the concrete in the
Oh.
back, which is like did not make his mom happy. But anyway, I thought, I shouldn't be. I'm usually the one who
My
gets the
dad will
barbecue and
smoke
get all that stuff.
literally anything.
So Kevin too.
I love
We
everything
make
smoked.
smoked corn a lot, like corn on the cob, and the
Oh,
smoker is good.
man.
Kevin, what are you doing? You're robbing me of
Smoked corn
this.
on the cob, do it.
I'm writing it down.
1 year for Thanksgiving.
Under my priority tasks and due date,
Smoked
like
corn.
this weekend, smoked corn.
Jeez.
He'll rub like olive oil and like some like herbs or whatever on it and then smoke it. 1 year for Thanksgiving, somebody was making pumpkin pie and had leftover pumpkin like filling, and my dad was like, "I'm gonna smoke it and see what happens," and it was disgusting. So don't smoke a pumpkin pie. It doesn't work. But
I was like, what happened?
It's like my dad will smoke anything. They're not always good, but a smoked
Yeah.
pumpkin pie is not a thing. There's a reason why it's not a thing.
Yeah.
My dad's always like, well, what? Why isn't this a thing? I'm like, there's probably a reason why nobody's done that before.
Or it's brilliant.
No, pumpkin pie on the smoker was not brilliant. So don't do that.
What if
But,
you left the sugar out? Because one time my aunt did that, and they put gravy on the sugarless pumpkin pie because it's squash.
Yeah.
I don't want a pie that's savory. I mean, if
They
it's,
also did not, but
if
they
it's-
went with what they had, and they put gravy on it. It was
Okay.
great. You
If
want more vehicles for gravy?
yeah, but pie. I make the crust. My husband makes the pie. That's the nice thing, but he goes crazy with the pies. I mean,
pie.
but 4 pumpkin pies. That's
Yeah, that's
Are they
reasonable.
different varieties? or-
no 4 of the same pumpkin pie. 1 year he made 6 because he wasn't really happy with how the first one came out or the second batch because you do 2 at a time. And then I'm like, I don't even want pumpkin pie. Don't hate me, but I want pecan pie.
Pecan pie is so stupid easy to make.
Yeah.
Like
Sometimes it can be over sweet, but we found a really great recipe that, like my
the
favorite one.
recipe on the pie crust. Like that's what I did. We were traveling, and there were these very sad supermarket pumpkin pies with all their crusts broken, and I just couldn't. And so we bought the freezer pie crust, Marie Callender pie crust, because
I can't eat it.
Well, that's fine.
Right.
I'm just saying how stupid easy it is, right? And I'm not very particular about how it is. And I made as many pecan pies as I could because I couldn't bring home those sad grocery store pecan pies.
Well, sometimes I feel like pecan can be overly sweet, and so my favorite is a chocolate silk pecan pie. So it kind of balances. You got the darkest chocolate made into like a custardy pudding layer.
That sounds delicious.
To
It
go
just won't
with
fly.
the pecan.
Yeah, it won't fly at my house. They want the classic.
I think this year we might have enough apples to make a pie.
Oh, your apples are very pretty.
Someone was telling me, I think you picked them too soon. I go, well, they fall off. No, we've now have like 6 that are like regular small apple size,
Nice.
not crab apple size, but
You mentioned using the
Was it a crab apple who told you?
Mrs. Crabapple.
Yeah.
Mrs. Crabapple.
You're asking?
Oh no, Anne mentioned using or forgetting the sugar in the pie or whatever. 2 Thanksgivings ago, James he makes green bean casserole every year from scratch,
Yum.
and that's like his thing that he's in charge of, and he does it well. Except for 2 years ago when he was trying to thicken we were cooking at my mom's house, and he wasn't like super familiar with where everything was.
Oh no.
And he's trying to thicken his whatever, and he thought he was putting flour in the green bean mixture to like thicken it up, but it was powdered sugar.
Oh no.
But you know what? It was kind of delicious. It worked out fine.
Well,
it was like nobody noticed, and he told us afterwards, after we had eaten it, he was like, I was wondering why it was kind of stringy and gooey and it wasn't working, but it was like, you know what, tasted pretty good. I mean, it was probably like a couple tablespoons in the whole casserole, but still it was like, oh, well, I guess that's a thing.
It wasn't like sugar on your eggs.
No, I didn't ruin it.
No.
I was like, if salt's good and it's good on my, extra sugar on my breakfast cereal's good, I'm going to try it on my eggs. And my mom's like, you're going to eat every egg on that plate if you do that. And I did, and it was awful.
No, it was actually not bad.
Good.
To me, I like the sweet potatoes that are just treated like a regular potato, just baked.
Oh, yeah, I like that too.
But it's not Thanksgiving sweet potatoes unless it is loaded with lots and lots of butter and brown sugar, cinnamony, pumpkin pie spice, which I mix up my own pumpkin pie spice have my own.
You'd think this was our November episode.
So we all got big into Thanksgiving, I guess.
Well, that to me is the pinnacle of,
Yeah. Another one of my unpopular opinions is I do not like sweet potatoes.
Oh, my mom doesn't either, so we didn't really have them at Thanksgiving, but the Cazzolis like to have gold.
With the marshmallow.
One of the Aunt Pam's makes really good
One
gold.
of the Aunt Pam's?
Kevin has 3 Aunt Pam's.
Wow!
Yeah, that
That's
was a funny
amazing.
thing about like Alexander when he was little. Like if you learn Aunt Pam, 3 people could turn around.
That's funny.
Because it's a big family too. So if you, so there's 3 Aunt Pam's, and one of the Aunt Pam's makes really good gold.
Wow.
I don't have her gold recipe.
Mm-hmm.
When you said gold.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the sweet potato recipe. It's called gold. And it's you mash the sweet potatoes you kind of make a sweet potato custard. And and then you top it with a crumble with pecans and brown sugar.
I might add pecans to the topping this year.
Yeah, it's great.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it is really good.
I mean, it's like, that to me it's like sweet potato pie versus pumpkin pie. They kind of taste the same.
Yeah.
And they're kind of the same texture. I
roast to our family Thanksgiving because my mom doesn't have sweet potatoes on the table. So at least my family, my family will eat the gold.
We don't do the canned sweet potatoes. I pick out the sweet potatoes ahead of time and I pre-roast them so that and I chop them up so that I put them in a Ziploc, and that way they're done ahead of time.
I think that's what Aunt Pam's recipe calls for. I use a recipe on all recipes that I've used for about 10 years, and it's good enough for us. Mm-hmm. Canned, always, all the time.
There you go.
Yep.
If it works, it works.
I like the caramelization because when it's almost like its own gooey syrup of just the sweet potato sugars. It creates like a candy on the parchment paper. That's yummy.
Definitely roasting your vegetables gives you better results, but I'm cool with the can because I also
I don't make homemade pumpkin. I did that back when
I will do that for a pie because I just think it's fun.
Have you done it with any of the light colored pumpkins? The white pumpkins make the most delicate flavored pumpkin pie.
Don't white pumpkins taste like cucumbers though? They smell like cucumbers.
Well, that might be why it's like a softer, it's a little less squashy.
I've done it with it's the regular sugar pie pumpkins that you can buy for that. But I just think it's fun to do, so I've done it.
Pumpkin stuff with everything good. Do you guys remember that I made this last year? Maybe 2 years ago.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I talked about it for a long time, and then I never had made it, and then I finally did it.
Yeah.
Pumpkin stuff with everything good. It's from the cookbook My French Table. And I don't remember the cook, but she lives half-time in the U.S., half-time in France. And she has friends who, grow their own pumpkins. So you take cheese and a starch. So it could be dry bread. It could be rice and egg. and bacon, and you mix up this savory quiche kind of custard, and then you put it in the pumpkin, and you bake the pumpkin. The pumpkin is the container for this
Oh, wow.
cheesy goodness. So that's the everything good. And it's like it's a
I don't remember this one after.
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah.
well, I used a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin.
Oh.
And it was only the everything good was good.
Everything good, but don't eat the
Because,
pumpkin.
like, she talks about it in this beautiful romantic way, and you slice it,
Yeah.
and you serve the pumpkin with the everything good, and it was torture to eat them. So be careful about what pumpkins you use. And now my family will not even.
They won't
They won't even
like, can you
entertain the
just make
idea.
the everything good
Yeah.
part?
Put it
you
in a
mean
pan
the starch,
like a normal person.
and the cheese, and the sausage, and
That's funny.
bacon. Yeah, sure, the everything good. That's it. But
I like roasting a pumpkin for pumpkin pie because it makes your house smell so good.
yeah. So my mom is a really good pie maker, and her insides are really
Do you
good.
roast the pumpkin whole, or do you cut them into like wedges and
No, I cut
wedge
it
side
in
down?
half, and
In
then
half.
you put it down on the pan, and you rub oil on it, and you
Yeah.
stick it in the oven.
But she does canned pumpkin now. For a
Yeah,
long
I'm
time.
not opposed to it. I just,
Yeah.
if I have the time and the energy, I like roasting a pumpkin because
Yeah.
it's fun. I like making pie. That's like, if will dole out all the jobs, so someone's in charge of making mashed potatoes, someone makes whatever, and I always
mashed
get assigned at
potatoes.
least a pie or two. I
Nice.
usually make the pumpkin. 'Cause I like pumpkin.
What's
Love
the end
pumpkin
two?
pie.
Just 2 pumpkin pies, or something special, or anything else?
No, it just depends on the year. So it's like, if usually it's sort of by family. It's like you guys bring desserts, and my mom will be like, my mom loves pecan pie, and she makes pecan pie. But I usually make pumpkin. Some years I'll make an apple, but most of the time I just volunteer for the pumpkin because it's easy.
Very nice.
One last food recommendation. If you guys have an Instant Pot, make your mashed potatoes in your Instant Pot. It cooks in the butter and milk.
That's nice.
And then you just smash it, and it's so good. I always use Yukon Gold because they have a natural buttery color and flavor. They're
I do
awesome.
not have an Instant Pot.
And if you're gonna,
didn't
I also
like it.
just don't cook, so.
Yeah.
well,
I didn't like the Instant Pot, but Kevin loves the Instant Pot, so
Yeah.
he could.
he could do the
I'm a
potatoes.
crock pot girl.
Yeah.
The crock pot feature of the Instant Pot does not work
I've made
very well.
I've
Too
made mashed
confusing for me.
potatoes. I've made
You're
mashed
supposed to be
potatoes
able
in
to
a
just
crock
push a
pot.
button.
That's pretty easy.
Mashed
You
potatoes.
just pour a bunch of milk and throw the potatoes in. So I guess it's the same idea, but it makes a lot of potatoes.
Not
It
nearly
was
enough
fun.
for our family. It lasts for 2 days.
Maybe I just have a giant crock pot.
Hot chocolate.
I
Also,
see
you have
you
a pretty
made
big family. Karen has a pretty big family. And hot chocolate in the crock pot is
I've
a
done that.
delicious luxury. Like, if you're going to have a holiday party,
We do
make
that for
like,
for
for,
like
hot chocolate
maybe we'll
bar
think
one
about
time.
that for our December party.
Maybe.
I've done that for our Halloween party. I'll have 2 crock pots, and one I make like Mexican hot chocolate, and the other one I made like a mess of pumpkin spice latte.
Oh,
Oh,
So you could just like ladle it out of the crock pot. It keeps it warm.
of course, we cannot have this conversation without the PSL. Pumpkin spice
Yeah,
latte.
it's not out yet.
September, though. Like, it got early. It's earlier and
Oh,
earlier.
so
like,
it's
I-
not fall yet
like
until
the
the
start of
PSLs come
school.
out.
It's true.
I think it's September 1st, honestly.
It might be.
Yeah.
My cousin was telling me she's a barista, or she used to work at Coffee Bean, but she was telling me she went to Starbucks, and she has been asking at every Starbucks she goes to, do you have the pumpkin yet? Because they might not like have it on the menu.
Yeah, but they might have it. They'll
And
make you
she did
anything.
find one that had it and would make her a pumpkin spice
And you're
latte.
not-
Most
you're
people told her
not
no.
gonna share where that was.
I know, because she's an actor. So she was doing a play in like Sierra Madre. So I was
Okay.
like, it
Wow.
could be anywhere.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all right.
yeah.
She also drives to LA a lot, so I do not know which location it was. But
Also-
I don't get excited about the PSL. It's like really, truly my favorite time of year is Christmas season, which is like really too far ahead to be thinking about. But
Yeah.
they used to come out with the holiday drinks, and they had a gingerbread latte, which was my most favorite
Yum.
thing, and they haven't had it the last couple years, and it makes me really sad because I loved the gingerbread latte.
I bet if you asked, because Trevor's going to still be working there for a long time, the one in Fillmore, I bet there's a get around that they
It
could
might
do to
be.
make it.
They might have had it last year, but there was at least a year I know where they didn't have it, and it was like it like didn't feel like Christmas had started because I didn't get to have my gingerbread latte.
The year that Christmas died.
It's true. I love my gingerbread latte. Anyway.
So clearly, it's all about the food.
Yeah, we were gonna talk about other like things too, but
yeah, because we're like, this is the textile artist time. This will be very on point.
It's true though.
Talked about nothing about that. Well,
that's like when
we were drank warm drinks.
Yeah, I drank a whole cup of hot coffee. Can you imagine that?
Hot coffee.
I didn't think you liked hot drinks.
I don't, but I drank a whole cup. I let it cool down significantly.
Yeah, I like things to. This is still a little too hot for me. I like. So, what kind of things do you create? Are there maker things that you like to create? I make all year long, so I don't really isolate.
I'm not super big on like gift knitting anymore.
I hate decorating.
Oh, I love decorating.
No.
Okay, I used to love decorating, but it's the first couple decorates it was fun, but now it's old.
No,
so I am so happy that
I'm like a real sucker for all the holiday traditions. So it's like I get to bust out my box. Like I have a storage unit that's like 50% Halloween and Christmas decorations. So we like decorating.
I do not.
So Black Friday for everyone else is all about shopping. Black Friday is the day my husband pulls out the decorations and everything gets put up. Now we don't have we don't have a living tree because of my allergies.
Same.
So, but we've had this tree that looks real. We've had people come in and try to touch it, and it's like older than my youngest son. It's over 20 years old, and it's all about how you bend and shape the branches.
We were talking, James is like secret hidden talent, and he's amazing at putting lights on a Christmas tree.
Wow.
It's like a random thing. I'm really good at rolling a sleeping bag in a very effective way. That's one of my secret talents. James's is fitting like 8 strands of lights on a Christmas tree.
Wow.
But this isn't a conversation for September. We should save this.
No. Future tips.
If you need, because I hate pudding. Yeah.
Halloween?
The end. I love Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween is coming. We'll talk about it again next month when it's actually October.
Oh,
and
good. We can do this again.
Let's make that our goal is like October we'll talk about Halloween a little bit more. Because you guys probably care about Halloween. I don't know.
Well, since everyone came dressed to our Halloween party
we'll have our Halloween party again. And if you wear a costume, we will be excited.
Yes. You'll get a prize. We have all the prizes from last year.
Nobody wore a costume.
We got to think about if we're going to be the same thing or if we're going to be something different. We talked about doing something different.
Guys, I have this cute furry white shift dress, and I wore it out. So
you wore it out like it's no longer good. You wore it, or you wore it out like out on the town.
Shabby. Well, I wore it out on town
so many times that it's been worn out.
I wore it like to do air.
Oh my god.
Okay,
so we were like,
I got the
sheep.
face. See this face? This face is like, I don't know if I'm kidding or not.
I know. Yes. So we were sheep and we made cute furry white dresses and wore long black sleeve shirts. And Katie made the cutest sheep headbands.
Oh, they're awesome.
No tails though, right?
I don't think we got around to making tails.
Well, that's why my white dress is so versatile. Because it'd be weird if I was wearing that around with the tail.
With a tail. I mean, it's not as versatile when you attach a tail to the back of it.
Let's not be weird about this, guys.
We'll have to come up with a new idea for this.
There's a word for that. It's called anaplushophilia. It is a real thing.
It has my name in it.
No. Animal, like animal. Plushophilia.
That sounds dirty.
It is.
Those are the plushy people.
Furries.
The furries.
I didn't know we would get into this conversation.
Well, that's all I'm saying is there's a real word for that.
You were talking about dressing the branches, and I was very quickly back to fluffing.
Oh my god. Okay, that's the end of our episode.
We're not going there again.
You took it there.
Nope.
Poor Anne.
I'm going to cut out this last 5 minutes of this podcast. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we'll just cut that out. Thank you so much for tuning in to all our silly nonsense.
Yeah.
Please remember to comment, review, give us thumbs up.
All the things you can do.
Only thumbs up.
Yeah. 5-star reviews. Not that we have any reviews, but that would be great. Follow us on Instagram.
You can. Can they make comments on?
Yeah.
We should actually.
You can comment on our YouTube or on our SoundCloud or maybe on our website too. I don't know. But yeah, follow our Instagram at Strings and Things Studio. This is our September episode, so October will be new classes. So we've got 1 month left of classes left for September. So check those out, and then we'll have new classes next month. But I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.